This race literally broke us. You're watching our final attempt at the 24 Hours of Daytona, one of the world's most grueling kart races. We have only one option: to win this race once and for all.
So we've somehow fallen back, and I don't think Bobby's loving how the kart feels at the moment.
This is a multi-class 24-hour endurance race, and we'll be driving 70-mile-per-hour Rotax-powered rockets. And once again, I'm teaming up with Bobby, Luca, and Carlos, 3 of the fastest rental karting drivers in Europe. But if you watched last year's video, you already know how quickly things can go wrong in this race. We fought through torrential rain, refueling disasters, black flags, and this.
That's why you're asking for. You have no access to me. Go away. We are not
I did not ask a question.
And somehow, after all of that, we nearly podiumed. So this year, we're back for one last attempt to conquer one of the most chaotic, unpredictable, and punishing rental kart races in the world. But before we can even think about the race itself, we need to know one thing. Did we draw a good kart, or is this entire 24-hour mission doomed before it even starts?
Big fan, mate.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Have fun, yeah?
Thank you. Same to you. How many laps?
Run it till it starts coughing, then bring in.
Okay.
We should work out how many laps we have done.
All right.
We can say 52 laps. It gives an idea on the fuel.
All right.
Try not to get a coffee.
All right. Okay, here we go. Practice at Daytona, 24 hours, Milton Keynes. Need to get used to this track again. It's been, honestly, it's probably been a year since I've been here in D-Maxes. 2 strokes are kind of a different beast, but let's see where we are on the pace. I know the kart's half decent. We definitely have top 5 pace at the moment, but let's see if we can hold that through a 24-hour long race. A lot of super competitive teams here this year. If it was difficult last year, it's probably going to be even more difficult this year. Definitely feeling rusty this first lap, but let's get some temperature in the tires. Ooh, very bumpy through there. Oh, I always forget how ballsy that corner is. Traffic management is really the main thing. Now, the one thing is, I'm currently 4 or 5 kilos underweight in this practice session. So I know I'm gonna end up 3.5 tenths faster than my real pace. So I need to factor that in. I just didn't have enough time to put the weight on the car before the session. Ooh. Wow, he went in late. Ooh, big lockup. God, I'm feeling pretty rusty, I'm not gonna lie. Last lap was a 105.5. That's pretty good. It's only a 10th and a half off our team's fastest lap. But we have to take into account that I'm currently underweight. Then again, our fastest lap was done by Carlos, who's even more underweight than me. So really, our pace is looking top 5 at the moment, but I know I can get more out of this kart. I don't want to abuse these tires too much, because these will be our race tires. So any lap we do in practice right now is technically hurting our tire longevity, but we need to get the laps in. It's worth more than the tires at the moment. Oh, I almost smashed our team's best lap. That's a good sign. I should only be 3.5 tenths lower than that on weight. Oh, way too much curve. Yeah, that definitely doesn't work. Come on. Let's see what our slipstream performance is. Love all the support from the fans we've had already. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos, but this year is the year we've got to win this. This is our last attempt at this race. Now the problem is tomorrow, it very well could rain. In fact, it's looking like it's going to be a very wet weekend, and my pace last year was not amazing in the wet. It was good in the dry, but in the wet, a bit of a question mark. We know Carlos and Bobby are very strong in the wet, but they can't do the whole race on their own if it is entirely wet. We're currently P1. Woohoo! Hell yeah!
Now you'll notice that I'm flying past some of these karts at a ridiculous rate, but I wish I could say that was all down to talent. That's because there are 2 different classes of karts in this race. We, Open Throttle Racing, are in the 70-mile-per-hour D-Max karts, while other teams are racing the 270cc Sodi. So how we are able to overtake them while also battling the other D-Maxes is going to be a huge factor in tomorrow's race. I've actually taught hundreds of you guys how to be faster in rental karts in my online academy, Karting Handbook, but more on that later. Because right now, I'm feeling really, really good about this race.
Hey, this is looking pretty good so far. we might just win this thing. This one even faster, 105.0, but I think still P3. So, must be some fast karts ahead. I think I need to pit for fuel though.
It's Friday evening. It's about 40 minutes left in practice. I think it's just going to be Luca and Bobby just getting as comfortable as they can. I've done my run in the car, and I'm feeling quite happy with that. I was P1 on track at the moment, fell down to P3, I think, overall. But I came in 6 kilos underweight, which is a bit more than I was expecting. I think in reality that means I probably am a 3.5 tenths a lap slower, which still puts us in the range. Still very much pushes us in the range. And what's even better is the 4 of us are much closer together in pace than we were last year, right? We're all pretty much doing the same lap times, you know, plus or minus weight differences and stuff. So this is looking extremely spicy. The only problem, King Brothers Racing are looking insanely fast, and they've got my former teammate Brad Philpott on the team, and I know just how quick he is. I just know how quick everyone on that team is, so this is going to be tough. So at the moment, Luca is in the kart, done a 104.9, so he's just gone a tenth quicker than my best lap time, and hopefully he's running on the weight. We're actually not sure. KBR, who's going to be our main competitor this weekend, 104.3. That is rapid. This is going to be probably even more competitive than it was last year.
And to make matters worse, we did a bit of napkin math and realized we might have an issue. You see, last year in the dry, we could do about 90 minutes pretty conservatively on a tank of fuel. But just now in practice, we ran the kart all the way down to empty and we only managed 74 minutes of running. There could be a number of reasons why, and maybe everyone else is dealing with the same thing, or worst case is we've got a kart that sips a lot of fuel. Either way though, we're gonna have a lot more pit stops than last year. So then came our final practice on Saturday morning, and this was our last chance to dot our I's and cross our T's. We're still really unsure about how far we can stretch this fuel, so we're just gonna have to keep an eye on it and hope we don't run out on track. The track is a little bit damp this morning, and because lots of rain is forecast for later in the race, the team thought it was a good idea for me to get my feet wet before qualifying. But unfortunately, I just couldn't gain any confidence in these semi-dry conditions. And at this point, I'm thinking in the race, if it does rain, I'm just gonna have to hand over the karts to one of my other teammates. But anyways, none of that matters right now because it's time to head into qualifying.
Good? Yes. Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Good luck, man. Good luck, bro. Yeah, see you, man. Weights on. Fucking go.
Now, if you saw last year's video, you'll know that qualifying didn't go particularly well last year because of an issue with fueling. I couldn't get my tires up to temperature, and I only qualified in P23. And considering we finished P4 in the race, I think if I qualify today in the top 5, we have a shot at winning this thing.
Question is, can we get pole position? Only one way to find out. Looks like I'll be starting near the front of this quali train. So hopefully I should have some decent clean air here. It won't take too long to get some clean space. Don't know if slipstream's gonna be a big deal here though. I think I should probably just focus on myself. Don't know what the pace is of all the other karts yet, so just need to freaking send it, man. Track looks mostly dry now. Try and get some temperature in these tires. We've got 10 minutes, so I'd imagine the lap times will probably keep getting faster and faster. If I do a really good time that I don't think I'm going to beat, I will pit early and save the fuel, because right now we are on our first tank of fuel for the race. There's KBR. That's the team to beat in the race. If I can follow him and slipstream him, that would be perfect. Get some temperature in the brakes as well. They definitely take a couple of laps to be on full performance. Might get a little bit of slipstream at this distance, but I don't know the pace of this guy in front of me, so I might have to back off. Get a car behind me as well.
While qualifying shouldn't theoretically have a huge impact on the final result of this race, I want to do right by my team because this is our last attempt at this race. I want to win this more than anything, and a good quality result would be exactly the confidence boost I need.
All right, I need to put my head down and focus here. Come on. Oh, come on. Traffic and qualifying is crazy. Got a gap to the car behind. I'm catching this guy a little bit though. Probably the fastest driver in this race in front of me. Gonna try and see if I can catch him. Ooh, big lockup. Gotta be careful there. The brakes are at the temperature now and they are very sensitive. Currently P4. Got down to P5. It's alright. Head down. Come on. Come on. String it all together. Definitely don't have the same grip as yesterday. Oh, too late. Oh, the brakes are very sensitive. I think I need to cool them down. Currently P8, not where we want to be. Need to really string something together here. Get too much lock up. Come on, Cameron. Just didn't put it together. One more lap, I think. I don't think it's gonna be faster. And that's checkered. That was really tough. Really, really tough. I was giving it everything. Don't think I put together the perfect lap, obviously. It looks like we're P9. Not the worst place to start from. We're obviously a lot better off than last year, but I'm starting to think maybe someone else should have qualified this kart. I'm gonna try and save fuel on this in-lap and see what the boys make of that. Best lap, 106.3. It's more than 1.3 seconds off my best from yesterday. Obviously now I'm running a bit of weight, but not much. So I think that's probably mostly track conditions and maybe just not putting it all together. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see where we are on the weights. Should be conservative here. 20.5. Where'd you end up?
P3.
No, nice. Congrats,
yeah, that'll do.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I think we're at 10th off.
Okay, nice.
I'm taking that.
yeah, nicely done.
Right.
Yeah, where were you?
7.
Okay, cool.
How far off was I?
So 6.3 and the best was a 5.5. So that's 8 tenths. I don't know. Do you feel like you had much more time to find?
Like, I think if I had strung a little bit, been a little bit cleaner in general, I maybe could have gotten like maybe 3 tenths at the most. But it might just be me because I was really struggling on the brakes. I wasn't as comfortable as I was yesterday, that's for sure.
I felt way better yesterday too.
Yeah. That was also physical. Like yesterday, chilling. I did a lot more laps than that, but I'm like, I mean, you can see the sweat. I'm like, the heart rate was up. Heart rate was up for that. But, well, now it's in the hands of Carlos for the race start. Let's see what he can do from 9th.
So after the final results came through, I was 10th, and I wasn't really all that pleased with it. But the same couldn't be said for Carlos.
10th.
Good, I got some work to do. I'd rather start in the middle than be at the front and have all the pack come at me.
Guess I did my job then.
But what you could do, get your shoes off and do a little bit of rain dance.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. It's a 24-hour race. That's like Holly. I mean, we saw last year. We started P23, right, and ended up P4.
Bobby
So
gave me 30 seconds to get to the front.
30 seconds, Jesus Christ. The field's close though, closer than last year. I think I had 3 tenths in it just stringing everything together.
From what we can tell, I've just been exploring with Bobby the fuel level.
Yeah, I had a look as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we think that they're actually putting in less fuel than last year, which is where we're getting the 70-minute mark from,
Well, you
because
know
they're not brimming them to stop them from overflowing out the breather line.
That's one thing though, but I did talk to one of the other teams earlier, and he said that they're pushing up to 85 minutes.
No wood for that.
Yeah, so we think we could maybe at most stretch the fuel 74 minutes, right? Probably. And if another team can do potentially 10 minutes more than that, it's big over the course of the race. So our engine might just be thirsty. So it's something we're gonna have to figure out a couple stints in, I think. Yeah. Well, quali's done. I did my job, sort of. Now it's time for Carlos to do his job. Race start. Here we go.
It's really hard to describe the gut-wrenching feeling you have just before the start of a 24-hour race. Even if you're not the one driving, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and money that's gone into it, and it could all be thrown away in one corner on the race start. But I have full faith in our Latvian weapon, Carlos.
Let's hope we can make it up in reflexes and get it nice and smooth and clean. Okay, we are on the outside. That's good news.
Race start. There's Carlos, warming up like a madman. 24 hours. Here we come. And there they go into the final corner. Green flag's about to drop any moment.
And they're off. Remember, this is a multi-class race, so right now we're only starting with the other D-Max karts, but within a lap or two, we're probably going to come up on the slower SOTI class, and things are going to get real hectic real fast. But for now, Carlos just needs to manage the traffic the best he can and try and make up positions before we reach the SOTIs.
I think he's up to P8 at the moment, but under attack. I think lost maybe 2 more positions there, being caught out on the outside. Oh no, he's holding it. This is literally gonna be a 24-hour sprint race, just like last year. Here they come over the hill. This is where cars will probably start to space out here a little bit. 113 kart in the lead. Now at this point, it's really hard to determine where our pace is in the field because naturally they would have all had their fastest drivers in the karts in qualifying, but now for the race start, it could be anyone. They could be running a completely different strategy than us, but to be honest, on our team, we're all very even in pace, at least when it comes to dry pace, so we're going to be fairly consistent through this race compared to a lot of the other teams.
And before we knew it, Carlos was already on the back of the Sodis. Those karts are pretty much slower everywhere, but in the brake zones, they're not too dissimilar. So Carlos will need to try and overtake them primarily on the straights. If he utilizes the traffic well, he could potentially overtake D-Max karts who aren't as good with the traffic management. But equally, a lot of the Sodi teams aren't quite as skilled, so we gotta be careful as we overtake them.
Oh, see, Sodis. Oh, feel the bummer. Need to get on inside.
Keep in mind that this is the first stint of a 24-hour race, and no one will be as sharp as they are right now. So the probability of something going wrong increases exponentially the farther and farther we go into this race.
Traffic management, that's what keeps us in the game. ABR has gained a little bit. Second and a half slower lap time just because counting to traffic.
He's under attack, actually, it looks like from behind. That's not what we want to see, but also the King Brothers Racing kart, who we're expecting to be, the most likely to win this race, they're under attack from P3, which is not something I was expecting, at least not this early in the race. So at the moment, it's the 113 car, someone who wasn't honestly even on my radar before, who's leading this race quite comfortably. The main thing for this race is not necessarily to be the absolute fastest on track. Got to keep it clean, no black flags, no penalties, and really good pit stops.
I think we might have lost position. What happened? What happened? Oh, that's a second there. He overshot his braking massively. I think we did lose position here. Oh! Come on, that's not fair. You pushed me. You pushed me. I'll get you back. Inside for turn 6. Oh, that was position lost to 107. He gained it so easily because I made a mistake. That's all it is. Sorry, let's go!
He held on to the position, but he's defending like mad. He's trying to tell the driver behind him, like, look, we gotta work together. All right, at the moment, Carlos is doing exactly what he needs to be doing. He's working really well through the traffic. This is what we know he was gonna be great at. He didn't necessarily have the pace on his own when the D-Maxes were just fighting amongst themselves. But now that the Sodis are mixed in, Carlos is a weapon through the traffic. Long way to go. The one thing we need to keep an eye on is fuel.
In true Carlos fashion, he was making light work of pretty much any kart he came across. But on top of his excellent traffic management, we received some rather unexpected news.
We just heard over the loudspeaker that 3 teams in front of us have gotten a penalty for jump start. So that's the JZ Racing, who's currently in P2. That's Voltar Racing in P6 and Red Burrows in P7. That right now is effectively probably putting us, P5 on track.
He's kept it cool.
He's kept it cool.
Kept it cool.
The Latvian weapon.
But perhaps we spoke a wee bit too soon, because then Carlos's luck seemed to run out. These two karts were certainly playing hardball, but Carlos managed to get around them until this happened.
Sorry! Jesus! All that hard work! You just lit the fucking devil in me!
Overtaking the lap traffic around the outside is always going to be a bit of a risk, but in this case, Carlos was just a passenger. But at least it's not all bad news.
Okay, interesting information we just learned from one of the other teams, actually. The team that is in P1, Algorithmic, it's rapid. They're like 3/10 a lap faster on their best lap compared to anyone else. Carlos is actually on the pace of P2, which is really, really strong, but that P1 driver is ripping. However, they apparently are one of the teams that did not run any of the optional practice yesterday, so they have the freshest tires. These tires are very grippy in the beginning, but they're gonna hit a plateau and they're gonna be the same pretty much until we swap out tires in the maintenance stop. So that means we should claw that pace back later, but right now they're gonna be rapid.
Jesus, what's the gap? 4.3 seconds. Yo, 25 minutes. Hello, Bobby. Hi. I'm sorry. Oh, black flag! Black flag! For what? I didn't push anybody out of the way. It's the car.
Something weird just happened. I was just looking at the live timing, and Carlos was in P4, only 2 seconds back from KBR in P3. And now all of a sudden he just randomly dropped down to 7th. But he went down from being 2 seconds down from KBR to now 8 seconds back.
We were P5 on lap 14, then down to 6. Oh, yeah, you're right. Something happened there.
Just when you think it's going way too well.
Eventually, we realized that Carlos had gotten a black flag, but we still don't know what it's for. But if there's any silver lining, at least we can use this opportunity to check on his fuel level.
Okay, so the reason you're in is for an unsafe re-entry at turn 4. Okay, so you rejoined the circuit when it wasn't clear to do so. That's why you've landed yourself a penalty.
It would have been safe, but it did not pick up at all.
Okay, I get that.
I'm not. It's not an argument. I'm just saying.
And as soon as this is 30 seconds, you are free to go, okay?
Yep.
Make sure you're nice and slow through the pit lane, and you look to the left when you leave, okay?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
No speeding, no speeding, no speeding. He looks good. He looks okay. This is the difficulty as well. With the speeding violations, there's no speed gun, but yet there's a 2 mile/hour speed limit, so it's just on the marshals to just be like, yeah, that looks too fast, which caught us out a couple times last year. But it sounds like this black flag is for something completely different. So our position now, after the black flag, P14 in class. We've been in worse positions before and come back from it. So yeah, this is the thing. Unlike the Buckmore 24-hour, you are allowed to double stint in this kart. So that can save a little bit of time on the driver change. So essentially, Carlos would just come in, go for a refuel, go back out and do an entirely, another stint, which, it gets kind of physical. So it will affect his energy levels later in the race, but it could be more efficient in timing. So Carlos is a bit of a weapon, so I think he'll have plenty of energy. But what do you think about saving his energy for later?
The thing is, after that, me and him are going to go off, aren't we? So the issue we got is obviously I'm a bit heavier than all of you guys, so we got to play it by that. So we'll see how he gets on, but he seems okay to consider the double stint. So we'll see.
Visualization of King. Thank you, that's one clean position. Magic! That's where we go in the place. We still be 14. Oh.
Interestingly, that is Brad Philpott, my former teammate from the Kart Race of Champions, filling up for KBR. So he's about to hop in the kart. Quick driver. I know he's faster than me around this place, so a lot of strong drivers in the KBR team, but they're definitely coming in maybe a couple minutes before us, unless he's just an eager beaver.
I'm going to try to keep up with the distance leader, 113 leader, isn't it? Oh, fucking Saudi! Oh, that was a snaking story, mate. I have relatively clear track.
Oh, race leader apparently has just spun out. They're pushing. I mean, they're doing crazy lap times, but clearly with risks. That's definitely not the way to win a 24-hour.
Let's hope for some rain.
Here comes Carlos into the pits. Looks like we are going to be pitting in front of KBR, which doesn't bode well for our fuel situation because we did have to stop already for a black flag. So we should have saved a bit of fuel compared to them. They were definitely stretching it longer than us. Keeping nice and slow, Carlos, no speeding violations. Into the fuel bay. New from this year is instead of doing the driver change, then refuel, we can actually do the driver change while refueling. So this is gonna save us quite a bit of time on the driver change. One of the race officials just pulled me aside as I was about to go see how Carlos's stint was, and he told me we need to chill it out on the speed. Apparently that, what you just saw, is potentially a mile an hour too fast. So he's told us to just chill, run on the idle. I don't know if we can go much slower, especially because this kart does not like running at low RPMs. It cuts out like super easily. So I don't know how we can go any slower than that, but if we don't, we're gonna get a penalty.
During the pit stop, we decided against having Carlos do a double stint because we wanted to keep him fresh for the rain stints coming later in this race. So instead, we threw in our not-so-secret weapon, Bobby Trundling. Bobby was a fan favorite in last year's 24-hour video, and the way he drives is incredibly unique, but more on that later. Let's see what Carlos had to say about his stint.
How was the stint?
Not happy with the rear end. It was really snappy and really not gripping on the rear leg. Otherwise, saw this, watch out, saw this. Did you see my move on turn 10? I was like, okay, I'm gonna have about a lap or two to get through. And then just open the gap, nicely round it. The other two came in on inside, I ended up spinning. Lost 6 seconds. That was a easy bit. The worst bit was a black flag. Is what it is.
Is what it is.
Sorry.
No, from the looks of it, from where Ollie was standing, it sounds like the other guy really should have been the only one getting a penalty, the one who caused that whole incident. You were just kind of a bit of a victim, right?
I was collected. And here I am, P14, coming in the pits. Sorry.
Meanwhile, Bobby was on a tear, determined to get us back up into the top 10. But at the same time, some of the Sodi traffic in particular was giving him a hard time.
There he goes. Bobby is currently, last I checked, up to P9 from P14. Obviously, a lot of karts in front of us have now done their fuel stop, which is slightly worrying because some of them actually did the stop 10 full minutes later than us. When you consider everyone did 10 minutes of qualifying, so they've already burned through 10 minutes of fuel. We kind of expected everyone to come in around 60 minutes, which is when we came in, but someone came in at 70 minutes, which is slightly worrying. Clearly, these karts are burning more fuel than they were last year, but ours seems to be especially thirsty. How that plays in over a 24-hour race, we're gonna have to see.
For now, Bobby's got his sights set on P8, the driver in the red suit ahead of us. But despite Bobby being one of the fastest drivers I know in one of these karts, he is really struggling to catch up to him.
Bobby is so fast and aggressive in these karts. He knows these karts like the back of his hand. He's a multiple champion in these karts, as are my other teammates as well. So I can't think of anyone better to carve through the traffic and make up that loss we got from the black flag in the first stint. Bobby's got about 25 to 30 minutes left in his stint, and then it's my turn. I better get suited up.
Rain is forecasted within the next couple of hours, so we're going to want to get Bobby out of the kart as soon as the fuel runs out, because he and Carlos and Luca, for that matter, are all super strong in the wet, so they need to save up their energy. But Bobby has done an incredible job in his first stint, getting us back up into P6 just as he entered the pits. One good stint for me, and we could very well be fighting for a podium.
All right, here comes Bobby. Looks like my radio isn't working at the moment, so I'm gonna be out on my own. Fuel, 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 fuel. Please more. Please, please, please. Here we go. My first stint to this race. Let's see what we can do. Come on. The lap time seemed to have been falling off a little bit in the field in the last stint, so the tires are already starting to wear more than last year. Just need to get into a rhythm and relax my hands. Try not to burn out my wrists too much. No idea if this is for position or not, but I know we're fighting with these people. Whew, some of this Sodi traffic is scary, man. A lot of rookie teams this year are in the Sodi, so some are easier to overtake than others. I'm not totally getting gapped by these guys, and I'm doing all right through the traffic. I need to try and stay with them, utilize their slipstream. They're starting to battle as well, so I don't want to get caught up as well in their fight if we have nothing to do with it at the moment. I know Carlos and Bobby's pace were both very strong, even compared to the leaders, so hopefully I can try and match them. At the moment, definitely don't have the comfort level I had yesterday in practice. The car being so snaggy on the brakes, I'm having to do more rotation just with the steering. That of course means I'm going to have to wear fronts more throughout this race, so we'll see how that plays over the course of the 24 hours, whether or not we have more front wear than other teams. Just the wrong place to get a yellow. I lost a lot of time to those guys, and that yellow flag was alright. Put my head down. I know I can be good through the traffic, so I just need a clean, consistent race, and we'll be alright. Whoa! Whoa, big shunt for TRX there. Holy sh**. Catching up to another car here, the 114. Looks like we've got the pace on him. Try and get rid of him quickly.
When we're this early in the race, I don't really know kart numbers, I don't really know everyone's driver suits, so I'm not really sure who I'm up against. So right now, I just need to treat everyone like it's for position.
Come on, man. No point fighting. That 121's not far ahead. He's not gapping us. Pace is okay. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of this guy quickly. Make a big mistake. Trying to tap my helmet to tell him to use his head. It's like, why are you fighting me? I'm definitely not setting blistering lap times, but I haven't had clean air yet, so KART 109 in front of me. I remember them getting some warnings in practice for just being a little bit too aggressive, so I'll keep that in mind. Oh, come on, man. Woo! This guy might be getting a penalty for that. Oh, looks like a Sodi's engine died there, right at the place we didn't want it to happen.
And then I got a message from the pit wall.
Okay, I just got the flag or the board from Ian saying 115, the cart ahead of me, is on for position. I'm racing with this guy. Yellow flag right now, slowing us all up, but I need to f***ing send it now. It's a sprint race. Might be 24 hours, but it is definitely more like a sprint race than you think. Saving a bit of fuel now in this full course yellow, which means we might be able to extend beyond 70 minutes like we have been going. But so is everybody else. Oh, a lot of people are pitting, including the 115. That's kind of sucks for us because you gain a lot of time under a full course yellow with the pit stop. But I'm too early in my stint to justify that right now, unless I do a splash and dash. All right, they just gave me the signal to box. I'm gonna have to wait until the next lap. Well, yeah, I guess I got about half tank. At this point, it will make sense. Just hopefully we don't go to green now. Unfortunately, it looks like they just pulled in the carts that was off to the side of the track, so they might go green this lap, and I don't get the full advantage, but at least you know the pit lane should be clear. Oh, it's green. Yeah, I copy, I'm boxing.
We really should have pitted 2 laps earlier, but I guess everything's 2020 in hindsight.
Splash and dash, it didn't really work out for us on strategy. Should have come in a lap earlier, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Looks like I'm doing a stint and a half here. At least I'm out of all this chaos, though. Should hopefully sort them out. I'm already seeing yellows there. 3 carts off.
Now, seeing as I've pitted for a splash and dash halfway down into the tank, this means that I will be doing an extended stint. Not quite a double, but it will be a lot of driving by the end of this.
Came out just behind D-Max's, not in the Sodi mess. It's, I think what kind of worked out, actually. To get temp back in the tires, they're cold as shit. Who am I fighting with for position? Who's P6? 115, okay. Oh, what is this guy doing? Woo. Jesus Christ. Ooh, 121 got a black flag. Interesting. Oh, this guy sends it on the brakes, but he does not get the exits. Great. Case in point.
We're now 3.5 hours into this race already, so let's check in with Carlos to see how we're doing.
Sadly, we did miss a few ideal spot under full course yellows, getting some top up. So got Cameron in, end of the yellows, which gave us clear pit lane. He filled up a tank. Now he's been out for 45 minutes and he has easily half a tank left, more than we expected, and he's gaining places. We are P6 from P11 when he came out of the pit, so 5 places up, perfect.
I could probably push another 1/10 or 2/10 of a second per lap here, but I'd gain more time by not taking the risk and just being good through traffic. At this point, I'm more than experienced to know when is the right time to pass the slower Sodi traffic and when is not, but some of the other teams are definitely having a harder time with it than we are.
By the way, if you want to get faster in rental karting, you can sign up for my online rental karting course, the Karting Handbook. It's over 30 lessons aimed to teach you how to get faster in rental karting. It's already helped hundreds of students actually get podiums and race wins, and you guys could be the next one. You can use the discount code on screen so that I can teach you all sorts of stuff like visual anchoring, braking technique, advanced braking technique, like that corner, for example, requires a very advanced technique. It's also going to teach you all sorts of stuff like steering with the pedals, which is very important to be fast in go-karts, pretty much any go-kart, but especially these ones. And there's like literally dozens of lessons of all sorts of different stuff that I learned from both my rental karting days before going into professional racing, as well as stuff I learned in professional racing that I wish I knew before I started rental karting. So if you want to improve your lap times, make sure you check out the Karting Handbook, link down in the description, and use the discount code on screen. Bro, what the f***? He's just bumping me in the brakes, in the brake zone.
The reason I've been able to make up those places is because I'm relying on those driver tools I've spent literally years developing.
Some people just do not drive with all their brain cells, man. Like, come on, we're not f***ing fighting.
But honestly, I shouldn't be too focused on what position I'm at right now because there is a kart quickly approaching from behind, putting on quite the pressure.
I believe it will be Luca in the kart after me, but I've got quite a bit of fuel left, so I'm in here for a little while. Double overtake, we'll take it. Bit of track limits for number 25 there.
Oh, but just as I thought I had cleared the 117, this happened.
Bit of an unexpected hit, but he gave me the apology thumbs up, so no worries. I'll let this guy by. See if he has more pace than me. See if I can save some fuel behind him as well. He seemed to be on similar pace. As long as he manages the traffic nicely, he can work together here. I think it's green. What's he doing? Oh, dude just massively clipped that barrier. If he starts making mistakes because I've let him around, I'm going to lose too much time in this stint being behind him. It's not worth the fuel savings. We're getting spicy over here. That was a little risky, but needed to get around those two quickly. Back on the 117, see if we can work together.
But then, in just a couple of corners, I somehow lost him through the traffic. But at least now, I can just focus on my own pace for once.
Currently P6. I just realized I have that information on my dash. I don't know why I was asking for it earlier. Oh, big gaggle of karts up here. Mostly sodies too. Jesus Christ.
This massive cluster of sodies is quite the challenge to manage. Like I said earlier, the main difference between these two types of karts is that ours are much faster in a straight line. However, there are slight differences in braking and in cornering. So in addition to predicting my own kart's trajectory, I'm trying to predict the trajectory of the other karts around me too.
Alright, looks like number 110 in front of me. We're on for the race. So I need to catch him and get around him. That's fourth position. Woo! Oh, there's 110. That's who I was fighting with for position. He just spun out in turn 9. That was a high-speed crash. Keep in mind with these 24-hour races is even if we don't necessarily have the best pace right now, as long as we can stay consistent through the night, when other people start to get tired and make big mistakes, it makes a huge difference. It's like marathon racing versus sprint racing. It takes a different mindset. And some people just don't have the patience and the consistency. Liam's telling me to stretch the fuel. So this is going to be a bit of a nerve-wracking stint, I think, towards the end of this. We got plenty right now, but currently P4 on track. We're all kind of just self-regulating, just because we don't want to risk a black flag.
Now, originally the plan was for Luca to hop in the kart after me, but the rain was looking like it was approaching much faster than expected, so we decided that we were just going to throw Bobby back in the kart instead.
Okay, boxing. All good with the kart, no issues. It's it's in a good window, so. Yeah, all right. Now that I'm out of the kart, my ankle is killing me and my left side is hurting.
That was awesome to watch.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if the pace was okay. I was just like...
Pace was brilliant. Okay. You were putting liters behind, catching P2.
Oh, really?
You were only like 5-6 seconds from P2. You came in, we didn't lose a lap to leader, came in to pit as well. I think we are probably on a lap behind from KBR, might be taking a lead or something.
I wasn't expecting that. In the kart, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do what I can do and see where we end up. But I could see the position, but I was like, oh, maybe we're just out of sequence.
All right, you came out 11, and now we're P3 before you coming in. Only 2 laps behind the leader. And leader was ahead of pit. So all the weather forecast does say it's going to rain. Yeah. So hopefully, brilliant.
Sweet. All right, first stint and a half done. Let's see what Bobby can do.
Bobby's second stint started off exactly as we expected, doing an amazing job through the traffic. That is until this happened. Bobby was called into the sin bin for a black flag. And him being a 6-time national champion in these karts, that was certainly a rare sight. But then, about 65 minutes into Bobby's stint, the rain finally came, and instead of just stretching the fuel an extra 5 minutes, we decided to put Carlos back in the kart. If you remember from last year's video, Carlos was a monster in wet conditions, and this year is no different. This being rental karting in the UK, these karts do not get swapped to rain tires no matter how wet it is on track, meaning this is very, very difficult conditions. Ultimately, how fast you are depends on how much tire temperature you can keep in these racing slicks. So that means Carlos and Bobby's aggressive driving style works quite well in these conditions. But that doesn't mean there aren't variables outside of our control. Despite the odd issue for Carlos, it seemed the other teams were certainly struggling more than us. And by the end of his 75-minute stint, the kart was in a very healthy position for Luca.
Fabulous, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Luca is a 3-time national vice champion in these karts, and we know from last year that he is particularly quick in dry and slightly damp conditions like these. Compared to Bobby and Carlos, he's a little bit more calm and calculated through the traffic, much more similar to my style, but we expect him to have some of the best consistency on the team throughout this race. That is, of course, assuming he doesn't get taken out in the process. But given how consistent and precise Luca is, it was a massive shock to us to hear he had been black flagged.
Okay, so the reason you're in is for excessive track limits calls. I don't know if you've been in it for it before.
I've just come into the kart now.
All right, okay, no problem. So it's probably from previous drivers, okay? And you might have picked up on yourself. Just make sure you're taking it nice and easy on the curbs.
Okay.
It also may prolong your maintenance stop, because if you damage the chassis, you're also going to fix that. So just take it easy. It's probably for your benefit. You might not realise it now, but you will do later on. All right. As soon as it says 30 seconds, you can carry on. Just make sure you stick to that pit lane speed for me. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, off you go.
It's not starting.
It turns out that we've had a few track limit warnings. He's just picked up the last one for the black flag. At least it was a nice quick one.
It's on me. I got 3 warnings of track limits. There is no nice quick track black flags, sadly. I don't actually see where I was making track limit penalties, but it's on me.
Meanwhile, despite the black flag, Luca was still fighting for P4, and we're currently on the same lap as P3. Now, I'm sure he's upset about the black flag, but he's not letting that affect his driving. That is until he ran into this guy. But eventually, he did get around just in time for our next fuel stop.
All right, it's nearly time for fuel for Luca, which means I'm either getting in the car or Bobby's getting in the car. Yeah, it's that point in the race where big mistakes are being made, energy levels are low. We saw the driver needing medical attention there in the pit lane, so hope he's doing all right. I believe an ambulance has been called, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting for everyone involved. We're definitely feeling BNI, so yeah, I'm gonna do a stint. And then hopefully you can get a sleep after this, because I feel like I need it. But, you know, I also don't want to put too much on Bobby and Carlos either. Yeah, I'll do what I can. Luke is out there fighting. He's kind of fighting with P4 quite a bit. I think it's Algorithmic he's fighting with, who was leading the race at the beginning. They're getting the elbows out, but they're not getting any penalties for pushing Luca out. So not sure what the deal is with that one. But yeah, we're on the same lap as P3. So we're very much in the mix, but I need to put in a monster stint here, I think. Definitely before the rain comes, but the rain literally could come at any moment, so I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie.
Since Luca was doing such a great job on track, we decided to extend his stint just a little bit longer. We were trying to wait for as long as possible for the radar to show exactly when the storm would arrive. So at the moment, it's the weather forecast determining our driver strategy.
We've reached consensus, 5 minutes.
Getting in 5 minutes.
5, yeah, as long as you're ready, I'll send the pit board out. It'll be on his course coming, hopefully. So I'll just tell him we're all ready when he is, yeah?
Copy.
But literally just a few minutes later, Luca started getting spits of rain on his visor. The track could stay dry, but not wanting to take the risk, we decided to throw Bobby back in the kart. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but as Luca pulled the kart into the pits, we were in P3.
You had some built-up warnings from Carlos, track limits warnings, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't realize, and I sent it too wide, and that was it, and it cost dearly.
It's all right. We're all right. We're doing all right. It's not.
I got back to P3 at the end of the stint. So yeah, overnight.
Overnight. Let's see. Let's see what the specialist can do.
Right, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Should we go snooze?
Yeah. Are you big spin or?
So this would be the ideal time for Luca and I to go and get some rest before our late night stints. But as we were just about to head out, we started hearing some rumors around the paddock that were quite interesting. Now, just like last year, these karts will have to go through 2 maintenance stops. These are pit stops where the engineers will actually fix certain items on the kart. And right now, we're approaching the very first maintenance stop. And what we're not sure about is whether or not they're going to be changing to fresh tires for this first maintenance stop.
Right, I've got information on possible tyre change. Yes, we can request it. No, they will not fill the request if they feel it's not necessary. It's purely down to their judgment. They have told me that the D-Maxes are probably all going to get a new set of front tyres, but we can request all they like. If they feel we don't need it, we're not going to get it.
This doesn't make sense to me though, right? How could some people get new tires at the maintenance stop and some don't? What? So one team needed it. Yeah, one team needs new tires because they destroyed their tires up to that point. That's just an unfair advantage.
You just cook them suddenly and then you missed it.
Will also be completely fresh tyres, no part warns around here.
The thing is, if Bobby gets new tires in the maintenance stop and then they go out and it's wet, you cannot bed new tires in wet conditions. In fact, it'll be way more slippery than if you had those shitty used tires that were already on. So it's a tricky call, but it's basically comes down to, is it going to rain around the maintenance or not? And are they going to give us new tires in the first place? What were you talking about before that happened?
I didn't look at the lap times. I mean, lap times have dropped massively since the morning.
As in slower?
Much slower.
So you were in your stint, seeing 107s on the dash, thinking you're just tugging, man. And then, what happened?
I think Liam couldn't see the fuel because I've got quite a baggy suit. So he was like, right, Bobby's ready. And I looked at the tank and I still had a third left. And I'm seeing 107s on the dash. And I'm thinking, God, am I not on the pace? You know?
We're calling you in early.
I'm like thrashing the car. I'm like, no, let me keep going. And they kept thrashing it. But yeah.
That's so funny.
Turns out I was on the money.
You were on the money, man. He was on the pace of KBR when I was comparing. So mega stint.
Can't complain. Back to P3 after a black flag.
So with Bobby out there in his 3rd stint of this race already, he's just out there doing his thing. Because of the maintenance stops, we're not exactly sure where we are in terms of position, as different teams are called at different times for their individual maintenance stops. So our true position is totally up in the air.
It's 9:07 p.m. This is a critical moment in the race. Just like last year, this is when the first maintenance stop window opens for D-Max. So already the P1 kart, which is KBR, has gone in for their maintenance stop. This means they're just gonna fix a bunch of stuff on the car. They might even put some fresh tires on the car. We now know if they do put new tires on the kart, they'll put it on all of the karts, so it will be fair, which does make sense. I think currently sitting in P4, so in theory, Bobby will be the 4th kart to go in for the maintenance stop, which is not far away. Yeah, that looks like new fronts are going on. So the downside of being the first in the maintenance stop, even though you're the race leader, is obviously any teething problems that the crew is gonna go through are gonna be on your kart. So kind of, actually, it would probably make more sense for the last place kart to go in first, but I'm not an expert. Okay. We're currently P2 on track. However, we obviously haven't done our maintenance stop. Only KBR has, and at the moment they're P6, so they've lost a couple of laps. That was a bit of a slow stop. Question is whether or not the mechanics will get a better rhythm, and maybe we get a faster stop than they did. One can hope and dream.
Then at 9:22 p.m., it was time for our maintenance stop. And because we're allowed to in the rules, we decided to do a driver swap as well. But honestly, I was feeling a little bit nervous because I had some pretty big shoes to fill.
Bobby, you're probably at one of the quickest out there at the moment. Keep it going.
If you go and wait at the fuel bay, so when they've done the maintenance, you just do a driver change at the fuel bay.
All has been looking good thus far, but we were expecting there to be more rain than there was, and poor Bobby had to do that entire stint in his rain suit. But at least we know he's not going to be at risk of getting any speeding penalties.
All right, Bobby's in for the maintenance.
All right, Cap.
All good, yeah, and you?
How you doing, bruv? You all right?
Okay, good, yeah.
How's it all been going?
Yeah, good so far. Yeah, we're up in the mix, so.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of unlucky black flags and like that, but but for the most part.
Looking forward to the rain when it probably comes?
I'm gonna off and go to sleep when that happens.
Smart move.
Yeah. This should hopefully stay dry. This one stint, and then I'll be back in the morning.
Cool. Just leave the wet weather driving to Bob.
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. Oh. it's starting to rain. I'm seeing spits like, oh, this just doesn't feel like the right time to me. My gut is saying that Bobby should be doing double. It is drizzling now. Yeah, the drizzles were too much, so they put Bobby back in. Yeah, I figured.
You buy it now you better go and have a race because this is raining now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I knew. I could feel. I could see it. And I was like,
to get you in the gear just for the rain.
Yeah.
Have you been sidelined?
I've been sidelined.
Honestly, the timing couldn't have been any better. During our maintenance stop, we got new fronts and a new exhaust like the other teams, but we did have a faster maintenance than KBR. And on top of that, it looks like the rain we've been praying for has finally arrived.
I don't know if you can see it, but the rain is definitely coming down now, and it is like visibly wet on the surface, unlike any of the other rain spouts that we've had up to this point. So Bobby is in the car really at the perfect time. They absolutely made the right call and made sure to put Bobby in instead of me. So
Is the car better? No? Okay.
at the moment, we're sitting P7, which is a bit strange because we were P4 going into the maintenance stop, I think. So we've somehow fallen back, and I don't think Bobby's loving how the kart feels at the moment, which I'm guessing is coming from just those new fronts not gelling well with this rain. Then again, everyone who's done a maintenance stop should be dealing with the same thing. Who's in front of us right now? I mean, there are teams that we are fighting with in front of us that we know are also on new fronts. They're in the position they kind of should be, so I'm not, yeah, it's weird.
Somehow KPR in 108. Okay, you're 108 as well. Brilliant. You're on the pace, mate.
Okay, crisis averted.
We only have 4 laps to catch up through the night.
Yeah, 4 laps. These boys, we're gonna be in P1 when we come back in the morning.
Yeah, there, 4 laps down. Let me speak to Cameron before they bagger off, yeah? I'll speak to you soon. Do your magic. Right, we only have 4 laps to recover in the next 6-7 hours before you come back. And you take it to the...
You can do it.
To the top. To the top.
You've done it before. It was basically the same story, same time of day. It literally...
Dark hour and wet.
Yeah, the only difference is we have a half-decent engine this time.
Yes, actually, but Bobby is not very pleased. His kart hasn't improved. He was complaining about vibration in the front of the kart, so that's downside.
It's still there even with the new fronts?
Yes.
Okay,
But
that's not good.
lap times are looking good. He's on the money with the leaders.
Plan for me now, Luke and I are gonna go rest up because these guys are gonna do a ton of laps through the night, and then Luke and I will take over in the morning and take it to the flag, I think. Let's see what the boys can do overnight.
It's all starting to feel a bit like deja vu from last year. Luca and I heading off to the Airbnb for a rest just as the rain started pouring, the perfect conditions for Carlos and Bobby to excel. And honestly, who knows? By the morning, we could even be in P1, but as soon as we got to the Airbnb, we got a text message. Just when you think it can't get any worse. Yeah, Bobby's okay. Thinks he'll be able to drive again later, which is crazy, but that's Bobby for you. But he said there's something bent. We didn't know exactly what he meant. And then Carlos just sent us a text just basically being like, yeah, kart's in the box. It's got a bent steering rack. We need a new kart. And he was stuck in the pits for like over 15 minutes, and now we're 18 laps down.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly what you want to hear halfway into a 24-hour race. Not even halfway.
Not even.
To a 24-hour race, so.
Good sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
well rested.
fully 0 minutes of sleep. We're just living on Domino's right now. Shout out to Domino's if you want to sponsor us.
Everyone wants Papa John's as a sponsor. Come on.
Let's see what we can do in the night. Claw this back. It's also wet, so that's also just to add to the spice.
Yeah, and Cameron and I don't really know this track in the wet, so.
Nope. Yeah, you saw how I drove last year in the wet. Let's see if it's any worse. While Luca, Liam, and I were trying to get back to the track as quickly as possible, it was complete pandemonium at the racetrack. Somehow after the crash, Bobby had gotten back to the pits and handed the kart off to Carlos, but as soon as Carlos drove it, he had identified that the kart was fully broken. So he's dropped off the kart to the maintenance crew for a diagnosis, and that's where we stand right now.
The crash bent the shit out of the steering column, so we ripped the steering wheel off and we're just going to straighten the column out best we can. Yeah?
Okay, yeah. Lap times was thereabouts.
Yeah, you were fine.
Oh,
you were seeing their lap time.
My f***ing shoe broke. The knob's gone.
Thankfully, the crew was able to fix the kart, so Carlos is back out on track to drive until the next refuel. Bobby is still getting checked out by the EMS crew, but apparently he's okay. Now, the rest of us have arrived to take over Bobby's shifts, but we need to still get some sleep before it's time for our stints.
We're getting the snooze on in the Tesla. Thanks, Elon. I don't know how Carlos is alive right now, but yeah, he's pushing in the wet. And Luca's in next whenever we run out of fuel, so. All right, well, good night, and I'll see you some other time in the night.
So after a very quick snooze, it was time to check in on Bobby.
Basically, got my into P3, I caught a big gaggle of karts, and a Sony spun it in the middle of turn 9, and I had nowhere to go, and I hit it, T-boned it at 45 mile an hour. So the impact moved my foot into the brake pedal and actually pushed the brake pedal back, and then it bent the whole steering column, so that really didn't go well. I was in quite a bit of pain. In fact, I managed to do an extra 4 laps while Carlos was getting ready, and then I had to re-boxed early, and I ended up having to get medical attention because I bruised my foot. The good news is I'm able to put pressure on it now, so I should be able to take part a little bit later on, but we've lost a lot of laps because the steering column was absolutely destroyed. Carlos went back out straight away and we had to box because we were losing like 3 seconds a lap because of it. Onwards and upwards.
So once Carlos ran out of fuel, Luca decided to hop back into the car. The track temperatures are pretty cold right now, but the track has somehow dried out. Ideal conditions for Luca. We certainly have a lot of ground to make up, but we're certainly not out of the mix just yet.
What times are the leaders doing?
1:08, 1:10, 1:11, 1:07, and we are currently doing 1:07.
Okay. Do you want to come in? How many laps? Pit is clear right now. If you need to come in, I'm ready. All right, copy, I'm ready.
And just like that, Luca was bringing the kart into the pits in P9 just in time for my next stint.
All right, pace was good there. Yeah, your quick laps were on, up there with the leaders. There's like 1 or 2 that are alien with consistency, but other than that, your pace is good.
It's now 1:42 a.m. and I have never driven a kart this late into the night. Only time will tell whether my body is ready for this. And it's not just myself I have to worry about. This is certainly that time of the night when everyone starts to make big mistakes.
Gotta get my eyes readjusted to these lights, and then just gotta put in some laps. Woo. Car's feeling pretty good with the fresh set of tires. Front's feeling pretty powerful compared to how I last drove this car. Need to get around this guy. He's slowing me down a little too much here.
I've definitely got the pace on him in Sector 1, so I need to get the move done in the Turn 4 hairpin. And hopefully he keeps the other cars behind me at bay.
There we go.
And just as I thought the move had been solidified, this happened. Now I'm just hoping we don't get a penalty.
Well, I feel bad for that guy. He was a bit innocent because of this guy who just decided to send it up the inside. We're all sandwiched. It's that time of the night where everything starts to get a bit spicy. People start making big mistakes. The fatigue sets in. The karts maybe start to have issues. I need to be on my A game here. Safety kart is deployed. Someone is fully taken out or injured because they're out of the kart. So either the kart's dead or something else. I don't know. But safety kart's deployed. This will definitely shake things up. Hey guys, can you copy on the radio? I think I might come in for splash and dash if the pit is clear. Guys, is it worth me coming in for fuel? I mean, I'm pretty close to full. It's not like I burned much. Do you copy? I won't have that many sodies to get through when we go back to green. But there is a massive train behind me. All the adrenaline's worn off sitting behind this slow-ass safety kart. Okay, green.
With the entire field bunched back up, this is effectively like a race start all over again. The tire temperatures will be ice cold, so I just need to make sure I keep the nose clean.
Cold tires. Fronts are definitely cold. Oh god, I think it's raining. Just gonna keep driving till it feels slippery. It's saying we're P8 on track right now, which is a bit of a surprise. I don't know if we've made up a bunch of positions here. We're out of sequence. That doesn't sound too bad. I think we were P10 when Luca came in. Alright, let's see if I can keep up with this guy. He seems to be very fast at the moment. Oh yeah, he's good. I also am not very clean, but it's like the gap ahead. There's a kart only 21 seconds in front of me right now. I better start putting some monster laps into traffic. I might be able to gain, get us up to P7. This is my fastest lap of the stint. High 7s, I think that's okay. Nothing special, but I think we're in the acceptable range. It's like I'm maintaining about the same pace to the kart in front of us in P7. Just lost my dashboard because the battery ran out. Yeah, I'm gonna box this lap. I'm getting stuck in traffic, yeah. Boxing this lap. Oh, the rain comes down right when your stint starts.
Luca wasn't feeling particularly confident about getting in the kart in these conditions, and in his first couple of laps, it was really showing. These 24-hour races put so much rubber on track, so when the rain comes down, the oil's released from the surface and you get just an icy mess. Couple that with the slick racing tires and yeah, you basically are driving a full-blown drift car. But this is really the time we need to shine because there are more yellow flags where we can catch up a little bit and there's more opportunity to make overtakes on teams that just aren't as strong in the wet. And Luca seems to be finding his stride.
All right, at the moment, Luca is absolutely flying. When the track was the wettest, when he first got in the kart, he was sometimes like 4 or 5 seconds a lot faster than the leaders, which is just mind-blowing, quite honestly. The leaders have slowly picked up the pace, but even now he's still dead on with the fastest person on track. Like, he basically is the fastest person on track. And for someone who was not confident getting into the stint for the wet driving, he's doing an amazing job.
Fast forward a couple of hours to 4:50 a.m. and it was now Carlos's turn to take over. Luca carved some big chunks out of the race leader, so we're on really good pace here.
You were like seconds ahead, I think, of everyone every lap.
In the beginning, when it was first getting wet, you were like 5 seconds lap ahead of anybody else. They started eventually picking up speed, but even like the worst case I saw you was matching the leader's pace. Like, you were essentially the fastest person on track, and like a couple of people started matching you towards the end of it being kind of starting to dry out.
That's where my concentration started going. The beginning, I was giving it the big lean, you know, over the front, outside. When it's raining is less physical on the wheel, so it was a nice break for the grip. You know, blisters are all right. I would do it again. Yeah.
Did it get too wet?
I was just boiling hot, to be honest. So didn't mind it. Welcomed it, to be honest.
Meanwhile, Carlos was out there doing his thing, and his pace was looking pretty strong, especially given that the track was kind of damp on certain places. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, we got another black flag.
It looks like we just got a black flag. I'm guessing for that overtake in the pits there on the Sodi. It's a little bit risky, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely wasn't working.
So when you were passing that Sodi, when you were leaving pit lane, it was just too fast to get your pit lane speed in for it.
Somebody had to go first.
Yeah, so if in that case yielded to him instead of overtaking him with acceleration, because at that point you were speeding.
That was on the line, literally on the line. When I started the engine then.
Yeah, you can start engine.
This was really one of those mistakes we can't afford right now, but nonetheless, we're just gonna have to make it up on pace. And luckily for us, these are the type of conditions that Carlos really excels in. You can see that there's just a dry line forming right on the racing line, and which means if you want to try and overtake offline, it's going to be incredibly difficult and will require a lot of skill. So if there's ever a time for us to make up significant places here, it's right now. But it would appear we aren't the only quick team right now, because there's KBR, who's absolutely flying too.
Carlos, I think, should be coming in any lap. The only thing is there's going to be a maintenance stop, potentially. Well, they'll be starting in 20 minutes. So, I don't know, within the next hour we'll be called into maintenance. So we definitely can't stretch the fuel that long. But it means during my stint, I'm going to have to do the maintenance, potentially double stint here, or 1.5 stints, which I'm not feeling particularly up for. But if I got to do it, I'll do it. You never give up. You never, ever give up in motorsports. It's the one lesson I've learned. We'll keep pushing. All good?
Right, kart is good.
Okay.
I was with the leaders all along.
Yeah.
I lost a P1 through the back markers, sadly. But I was up there with the time wise.
All right, cool.
All right, 6 a.m. Definitely very unlikely to be my last stint in this race, that's for sure. This is grueling. easily the most difficult race I've ever done in my entire racing career, man. This was f***ing hard. The whole team's been doing an amazing job up to this point. On basically no sleep. It literally takes a village to even survive a race like this, let alone do well in it. So props to the team for sticking this through. Only 7 hours roughly to go. Never ever give up. Just keep pushing. Feeling comfortable, not too physically demanding, a bit of wrist pain, but not too bad. Not going for outright lap time, because every time I just push too hard, I make a slight mistake. So just want to go as fast as I can comfortably without making any mistakes. I'm going to make up more time in traffic than an outright pace. Yeah, they're starting the maintenance stops now. So I think that's KPR first in the pit, so I guess they're leading the race now. Two for the price of one there. I'll take it. Feels like it's been a pretty good run so far. I think I've been overtaken by one kart this whole stint so far. Pace must not be too bad. Oh, is this us? Yeah, 118, maintenance stop, here we go.
Leader got the 10-minute penalty. KPR f***ed up, they ended up double stopping, like they done a pit stop, maintenance, and then now pit stop. So they f***ed up. We're already 2 laps closer. Hopefully we have very quick maintenance. Fill up and you are comfortable to go another full tank?
Yeah, I think so. I'll be fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
Brakes and new tires. Scrub the front tires and then bend in the brakes as well.
Alright, cool.
So it should be gusty. KPR had a very long maintenance. They had 10 minutes 38. We previously had 10:31, 8:31.
Yeah.
So if we can gain another 2, we're only 2 laps behind the position.
Oh, really?
Behind next position.
Oh, okay.
You are P6 right now.
Okay.
Next position is 2 laps ahead of us. We potentially can gain it just in the pits.
Yeah.
If it's quick maintenance.
How's the pace? Yeah.
Good. You were right up there, mate.
Okay.
Real quick, actually quicker than quite a few leaders. So keep pushing it. Enjoyed it. Don't. Yeah, just manage the traffic.
Yeah. That's fun, man. That's fun.
Good drive, though. You're so quick out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Maintenance stop number 2. Let's hope it's a quick one. Some other teams have had some slow ones, and that definitely gave us some laps we really needed back. But if we end up having a slow maintenance stop as well, then it's not going to really matter a whole lot. Now that I'm like not moving, I'm not driving, I'm feeling fucking tired. Wow, that was fast. That was really fast. This could be really good for us. Still alive?
Just.
Same. Alright, back out for another full stint. Jesus Christ. Yep. These aren't scrub front. They definitely feel cold. I can't believe they lost that much temperature. Yeah, brakes feel also brand new. Whew. Need to bed these in and try not to crash in the meantime. Trying to bed in brake discs in a race is something new for me. Let's see if this car comes alive with the maintenance.
Initially, we thought our maintenance stop of 8 minutes and 35 seconds was really strong. And while it was certainly better than a lot of the slower stops of other teams, some teams were getting theirs done in 7 minutes, gaining a full minute and a half in the pits. So I guess any advantage we had in the first maintenance stop has been evaporated.
Currently P10 on track after the maintenance, but a lot of people do have to do their maintenance as well, I think. What's that guy doing?
But just as my tires were coming up to temperature, I got in quite the heated battle with some lap traffic.
This guy in the blue is a bit hazardous. I'm gonna try and work with the 110 to get around him. I see he wants to keep taking his sweet time. Jesus Christ. What the What is this guy doing?
I was genuinely baffled at what this guy's deal was, and I don't think he knows either.
This guy has really the nerve to put his hand up on me.
But as I sit behind him in the slow and medium speed corners, I'm noticing my engine doesn't have the same pull it used to.
And I'll get their mid-range pull.
So if I'm gonna get around him, I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, whew, that was close. I don't know what just happened. I just locked up super easily out of nowhere. I just lost so much time to them. At least I don't have to worry about fighting with them for a little bit. Let's see if it gives this number 124 the same trouble. God, I should have sent him when I had the chance. Yeah, he's pissing this guy off too. What the f*** is wrong with this guy? Hey, what are you doing? What the f***? That point in the race where people start acting like complete f***ing idiots. Back on this 110 guy finally. After all that bullshit earlier. I know I've got the pace on him.
And finally, after all of that kerfuffle, I made it past the 110.
Finally got around those guys. Put my head down, focus here. Need some clinical lab. And I say that as I completely lock up. These new brakes are really tough. Currently P9 on track. Just started getting a bit slippery on that last lap, but
Lovely timing again.
yeah. So good luck, man. Careful, the brakes are a bit more sensitive after the maintenance stop.
Okay.
Other than that, if it dries out, you're definitely gonna feel the rears moving around a bit more in high speed. But other than that, it's all good. Cool.
And now with just a little bit of drizzle coming into the fold, this is the perfect time to put Luca back in the kart. It's now 8:08 a.m. and I've slept maybe 10-20 minutes at this point, but honestly, I'm feeling a lot better than I would have expected.
The rest of the body's okay. It's the wrist is the only thing that's I feel pain.
Are you hoping for it finish so you don't have to go out again?
Not necessarily. I think if I have a rest from between now and then, like, I think it's okay.
Probably our best chance would be if we actually rain till end. Bobby wants to come back. He's on the way back. Hopefully, if it stays wet, just keep him out.
Yeah.
It's a double stint, so.
I don't need to finish the race. It's not a big deal to me. So if that's my last stint, that's my last stint. Like, whatever's best for the team.
We lost a position, but we gained some with the maintenance stop. Yeah, it's good. I think it's kind of coming back gradually, chipping away. Hopefully, Luke can reproduce in midnight magic stint. And he didn't put a wetsuit on, so it does rain. And
it's definitely going to rain.
It starts drizzling, so lap times are reflecting. They're dropping, increasing, aren't they? So hopefully, he can make some magic happen. We have some laps to throttle in.
Yeah. How many down are we?
14, but we were 20 laps down.
Okay, when KBR passed me though, it was like, holy shit. I don't know who was in the car. Completely different line to anyone else I've seen run. Those KBR guys are quick, so tough to beat, but let's get inside before we get poured on.
When it rains, it pours. We got so lucky because after discovering Luca's talent for the wet earlier in the race, this was the perfect time to throw him back into this kart. But while he may have been fast, he wasn't exactly precise because he managed to pick up a track limits black flag. Thankfully, plenty of the other teams have done the same too.
Okay, we're now within the last 3 hours of this race. I put my head down for 45 minutes to finally get some sleep, and I woke up to just absolute pandemonium. On one hand, Daytona was making everybody tear down their gazebos and tents because of wind concerns, which was, as you can imagine, it's a little bit chaotic down there when everyone's trying to do their final race strategies, and then they're also trying to take down their tents and make sure their gear doesn't get wet because there's still risk of rain, so it's all a bit hectic. Then on top of that, Luca got one but not two black flags. I think one was from residual track limits warnings from earlier in the race. We're not really even sure where they came from because they didn't come from me, who handed the card off to him. And then the second one, I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. But we're currently P6. P5 is on the cards. Anything further than that, it's gonna have to be a bit of a miracle, but we'll see. I'm gonna hop back in the cart potentially for the final stint, but feeling a little rough at the moment, so we'll see.
And then the sun came back out, and as if by miracle, Bobby was ready to get back into the kart. So as long as his foot isn't in too much pain, the goal is for Bobby to save enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. We're gonna need a little bit of luck. But before I explain it, let's see what Luca thought of his stint.
I've never been out without a wetsuit in those conditions. I literally, it was like I was sat there under the safety car. It was like being in the bath. I was just completely drenched. But yeah, when it was full wet, I think I had good pace. I could just cut through the pack real nice. Got KBR, which is good. But then as it dried up and my concentration, I mean, I still haven't actually. I've only had naps, you know.
Okay, so the plan at the moment is Bobby, he's fuel saving like mad. He's probably driving like a second off what his actual pace is, but just to save monster amounts of fuel by lifting and coasting and being really gentle on the throttle application. He's a master at that. He's done it many times before, and if there's anyone who could save 13 minutes of fuel, which is basically what we need to save if there are no yellows, it's Bobby, right? So he's gonna make the judgment call 30 minutes to the end at 12:30. Whether or not he can make it to the end on the tank he's got. So right now we're praying for full course yellows between now and then. And if he gets one or two, like, we're golden. No swap, he can take it to the end, saves us a stop. So if he does need to do a splash and dash, he'll come in around 15 minutes to go. I'll hop in the cart and I'll take it to his flag. At the moment, P6 is what's on the cards unless something goes horribly wrong for anyone in front of us, which, as we know from last year, did hit the fan in the last like 10-15 minutes of the race for some teams. So let's see what we can do. Another update though, just to add to that, Bobby, despite his fuel saving, is actually somehow gaining on P5 and P4. We're 2 laps behind P5 and P4. That means that we're very much in reach there, and we could match our result from last year, which was already, given the circumstance, I think pretty half-decent result. So if we can somehow finish this race in P4, I'd be quite happy, honestly, given all the stuff we've been through. But yeah, it's possible some of those teams do not. Yeah, I know for sure the P5 team does not need a splash and dash. They should be able to take it to the end. We're safe from P7, I would say, but P5 and P4 it's going to take some work. The reason that they have fallen back and we've gained relatively to them is not because Bobby's pace is insane, as we know he's fuel saving. It's because they have been getting black flags. This close to the end is that's not what you want to be getting. But yeah, it goes to show everyone's stacked up their track limits warnings and all sorts of stuff. So the penalties always fly in the last hour, 2 hours of a 24-hour race, and looks like today's going to be no different. Let's just hope it's not us. Full course yellow, but for approximately 15 seconds. I wonder how much fuel he saved. Come on, we just need a couple more and we're golden. Genuinely could be the difference. Yeah, it wouldn't immediately get us up into P4 and P5, but it would definitely make it a lot more feasible.
Unfortunately, we just didn't get those long yellow flags we needed for Bobby to save the fuel to go to the end. So instead, it was time for me to hop in for the final stint of this race.
You'll be all right, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
Last stint of this 24-hour race. Let's bring her home to see where we end up on the leaderboard. This has been one hell of a race. My most exhausting, physically demanding, mentally demanding race I think I've ever done. And I've raced all sorts of Formula 3 championships around the world and in cars and karts. And I don't know, something about this race, man. It really is such a challenge. I think sleeping though definitely would have helped that situation, because I didn't struggle quite as much last year. 26 minutes to go. Just could have put in some quality laps. Still much Saudi traffic, Jesus. Definitely getting racy amongst the Saudis. They maybe all are battling for position here on the last lap. I just need to put my head down and not make any mistakes. And then we should hopefully have P6 secured, or if something goes wrong up front, we could potentially gain some positions. Look at that, the sun comes out to end this 24-hour race. The perfect way to end this. Ooh, big gaggle of D-Maxes in front of me. None of them were exactly for position, but doesn't mean we can't have some fun here. Whoa! Oh, that was close. Let's not forget that as much as we wanted to win this race, finishing the race is a result in itself. It really is. So difficult on the mind, the body, and the machinery. We've taken good care of it. The engineers have done a great job keeping it in good shape. All the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the lack of sleep, the injuries that Bobby had, and Luca, all of that culminates into the next 5 minutes. Man, it is nerve-wracking. Even though we're not fighting for position at the moment, you just don't want something to go wrong. Last couple of laps. Oh, yellow here right at the end. No, come on. Surely we're going to take the checkered under green. No, surely not. KART died, or they did something the last lap of the race. Are you kidding me? Second to last lap of the race. That sucks for that team. All the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. Carlos, Bobby, Luca, myself, B, Karas, Liam, and Ollie took a real team effort to do this, just to survive this, let alone try and perform.
And after what can only be described as a pretty chaotic race, we finished the 24 hours under yellow in P6. It's not at all what we had hoped for our final attempt of this race, but I couldn't be more proud of the team.
Thank you. Same to you, man.
And they didn't make up the numbers.
And there we go. Over just like that. Wish I could say it went by fast, but man, that was a blast.
It was an experience. Yes, we are taking a technical first place. It took 16 laps to fix our kart when the Sodi took Bobby out. We finished 16 laps behind the leaders. Had we not get crashed into, that trophy was ours. So technical first.
Wow, I did not realize that. Well, that does put it into perspective. So I don't know. We kind of said this was our last attempt at this race as a team, but will it be? Only time will tell.
Honestly, mathematically, we should have won. Or at least been a very close second place.
That's what's great. I thought Liam was joking, but genuinely,
No,
that
and
was...
also you consider the fact that Bobby was driving while injured while Carlos got ready. Carlos was driving a kart with the steering wheel like this. And then it...
taken out by Saudi Beach, and then, yes, what, 17 minutes to repair kart.
We had some bad luck this race.
There's only one positive to take away. I had quicker laps than KBR.
Without the rookie Sodis, this would have been a very different race for us. Yeah. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is. There were a lot more rookie Sodis out there, I think, than previous years. Maybe partly because of the video we made last year, quite honestly.
You don't worry, you already would blame.
But yeah, it is what it is. That's endurance racing. I think we made the most of it. Will we do it again? Time will tell. So if anyone tells you that karting isn't hard, there's Exhibit A. That's just from 4 hits in turn 2, just getting my arm pinched in the seat. Exhibit B. Yep, there goes that suit.
And shout out to another fallen soldier, Luca's GoPro, that fell off in the middle of his rain night stint. I don't think his warranty's gonna cover that one.